After 2 days, the war in the air was over. The results were hard to believe. 85 MiG-21 and 23s littered the Bekaa Valley, and not a single Israeli fighter had been lost. It was the ultimate confirmation of the IAF superiority.
You know, sometimes the wars are being described in the media more happily than they are in real time. All the wars that I participated in, 56, 67, War of Attrition, 73 war, all the wars were very serious, very tough, very sad. A lot of losses of life and equipment, and it was not easy and not happy.
For the basic training of its pilots, Israel still uses a plane that was already flying before the Second World War. Some of the Piper Cubs of the pilot school are over 30 years old, but nevertheless still on duty. In Israel, more than perhaps in any other country, the pilots form the elite of the armed forces. But their selection and training are extremely difficult. The student pilot starts his flying training only after succeeding a series of tests and a rigorous army training. The ground course is followed by flight initiation on the Piper PA-118 Super Cub. Competition is high, and only the best will succeed and attend the advanced flying training. The most dreadful moment for these young men is undoubtedly the announcement of the failed students.
האנשים שאקרא בשמותיהם נמצאו לא מתאימים להמשיך בקורס הטייס. לפני שאקרא בשמות, אני רוצה לאחל להם הצלחה בהמשך שירותם הצבאי, ולנשארים הצלחה בהמשך קורס הטייס. האנשים שנמצאו לא מתאימים הם ברטל עופר, ברנע עופר, גור לוי אמיר, דוד אורן, דוד זונרן, הלוי אבי.
After the Piper, the advanced training continues on the Fuga Magister, known as Tsukit, and licensed built since 1960 by Israeli aircraft industries. The Israeli Magisters have been upgraded, and it's most likely that despite an already long career, they'll fly on into the next decade. The theoretical training still is very important. The future pilot learns all about jet aviation and is getting prepared to face any incident. Having spent several hours in the small cockpit of the Tsukit, the moment comes for the student to prove his worth. The first solo flight. According to tradition, success will be celebrated in the time-honored manner. When the student finally graduates and receives his wings, the first hours in the Piper Cub are nothing but a distant, vague memory. The pilots are now posted to the various air bases of the IAF. Each pilot lives with his family on the base. Even though Israel is a fairly small country, it possesses numerous air bases, comparable to those you can find in the United States. Some areas of the base resemble more an average village than a military base. There are shops, sports grounds, a school for children and so on. The airfields are discreetly integrated but are sufficiently equipped to face any air raid or to launch an attack with its own means. Here the past is still present in the memories of all. Monuments to the memory of pilots who lost their lives in one of the many wars have been erected in many places. The Israelis are perfectly aware of what they owe to these men. Planes also have their memorials. Ouragans, Mystères, and Mirages are the silent reminders of a turbulent past. For its transport missions, the IAF still relies on the old C-47 Dakota. Some of these are nevertheless classified and live a second youth as a weapon for electronic warfare. But, like many other countries, Israel's standard transport aircraft is the Lockheed C-130 Hercules. The Israeli transport pilots are among the best of the best, which they prove once again in June 1990 during the Airlift Rodeo. This competition takes place every year in North Carolina and regroups transport aircraft from all over the world. Dozens of Hercules, Starlifters and Transals compete in several events: navigation, tactical flight, dropping of paras and equipment, precision landing on unprepared runways, and so on. The Israeli team accomplished all these events with extreme accuracy and received the award for the best international team for its professionalism. Helicopters play an essential role in the IAF. In the Yom Kippur conflict, but most of all in the Lebanese war, they proved their worth in combats against tanks, land forces and terrorists. The Bell 212 is an upgraded version of the Bell 205 Huey and is the workhorse of the helicopter fleet. Designed for the transport of troops and equipment, the 212 is also employed in a search and rescue role. Besides, it's equipped with advanced avionics systems for special missions. Since 1969, Israel has deployed the Sikorsky S-65C3. The Sikorsky S-65, also known as CH-53D, is a heavy transport helicopter. This powerful machine is perfectly adapted for missions at high altitude and in warm climates. For example, it was used in December 1969 to capture a highly classified Soviet radar system in Egypt and transport it to Israel. The Israeli CH-53s have been specially modified for operations in the desert. Besides huge drop tanks on each side of the fuselage, air filters have been mounted. A wise decision, as you can see. For close support and anti-tank missions, the IAF utilizes the AH-1 Huey Cobra. Most Israeli Cobras have been updated to the AH-1S standard, equipped with new electronic systems, anti-tank missiles, armored cockpit, modified exhausts, and so on. With the Hughes 500 Defender, the Cobra was the most feared helicopter of the Lebanese war.